Hello and welcome to a tutorial for creating distortion. Distortion is quite handy if you're trying to sell the effect of either heat or maybe wind or a force attack or anything like that. So without further ado, let's take a look. First thing we do is create a area that we want distorted. So today we're going to use the ellipse tool. And what we want to do now to create a little bit more realism is we want to feather the edges so that the effect blends or smooths out. So let's blend it by about 300. And let's see how that looks. So feather the edges and let's create a new layer and call this noise and click OK. On the noise layer, what we want to do is we want to render some clouds, solid noise, and we want to crank up the X size and Y size and also increase the detail. And again, click OK. And you can see that we've created a little bit of distortion out to the side, and you can see how it feathers out to the edge due to our feathering. Let's hide this layer and then let's Control A to select all, and then let's select the grid layer. So this is would be a background layer of the photo. Now what we want to do is we want to use a displacement map. And we're actually using the noise, and so if you have a look, you can see the displacement. So it's a little bit too much, so let's crank it down to about 5 on both, and as you can see, the displacement becomes a little bit more subtle. Now the trick here is we have our up and down, which is our y-axis, and we have our left and right, which is our x-axis. Now things get a bit confusing. X displacement means how far it's displaced on the x-axis. So x being the horizontal, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Now, so it's basically how far it wobbles. So if we just get rid of the y displacement, you can see that the wobble only occurs on the x values, not the x-axis, but the x values, and vice versa on the y displacement. So it's happening on the y values or the x-axis. Very confusing, I know, but that's sort of the reverse of what you'd think, but it sort of makes sense when you think about it. So let's crank that to 10 and maybe try 7. Okay, so to me that looks quite nice, and as you can see, we've got like a little bit of subtle distortion there, and that's pretty much it. Enjoy.